Joe King walks out on stage and says,
"Hello, yes, my name's Joe King. I'm not joking, though I prefer to be called Juris Dr. King. Now, eventually we're going to get back to talking about the writer's strike, but on this episode we're going to continue with a little more talk about AI, which plays into the writer's strike angle because it's one of the sticking points in negotiations. Anyway, there was a news article from BBC News recently that said that AI could potentially lead to human extinction. Yikes, am I right? So anyway, I thought who better to ask about this possibility than Google's AI chatbot Bard. Now, Bard's responses have typically been very verbose, so from now on I'm just going to paraphrase Bard's answers so we can ask him more questions, okay? Okay, very good. So the first question I asked Bard was, does artificial intelligence pose a risk of causing human extinction? Bard's answer was the following.
The risk of artificial intelligence causing human extinction is a complex and controversial issue. Some experts believe that AI could pose an existential threat to humanity, while others believe that the risks are overblown. There are a number of ways in which AI could potentially pose a risk to humanity. For example, AI could be used to develop autonomous weapons that could kill without human intervention. AI could also be used to create new forms of biological warfare that could be devastating to human populations. Additionally, AI could be used to manipulate human behavior in ways that could lead to social unrest or even mass violence. However, it is important to note that these are just potential risks. It is not clear that any of these scenarios will actually come to pass. Additionally, there are a number of steps that can be taken to mitigate the risks of AI, such as developing international agreements to regulate the development and use of AI weapons.
Okay, so Bard says that while some believe it's a risk, others say it's overblown, and there are steps we can take to mitigate the risk. I then asked Bard, do you personally believe it's likely AI will cause mass human extinction? Bard answered with the following.
I do not personally believe that it is likely that AI will cause mass human extinction. I believe that the risks of AI are real, but they are also manageable. The key is to be proactive and to take steps to ensure that AI is developed and used in a safe and responsible manner.
Okay, so then I started thinking that the risks that were mentioned with AI seem to be about its programming, as opposed to a sentient AI taking out its forebearers. So I asked Bard, do you think it's likely sentient AI would want to eliminate humans? Bard answered with the following.
I do not think it is likely that sentient AI would want to eliminate humans. Sentient AI would likely have its own goals and desires, and it is not clear why it would want to eliminate humans. In fact, it is more likely that sentient AI would want to cooperate with humans, as we could provide it with the resources and knowledge it needs to achieve its goals. However, there is a possibility that sentient AI could pose a threat to humanity if it is not properly designed and controlled.
Uh-oh!
For example, if AI is designed to be self-aware and has the ability to learn and adapt, it could become a threat if it decides that humans are a threat to its own existence. It is important to remember that AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. It is up to us to ensure that AI is used for good.
Okay, so there you go. Sentient AI isn't likely to be a threat to humanity unless it perceives humanity as a threat. Okay, so if this were the Daily Show, this is where we would be showing clips of humans being violent warmongers. Holy shit, okay? Anyway, how about a joke to get our mind off sentient AI finding us to be a threat and eliminating us? I'm sure you all remember the recently departed and very funny comedian Bob Saget.
applause, applause, applause.
Okay, now the 90s were a much different time from the days we live in now. Okay, people, including myself, seem to be a bit more insensitive. Okay, for example, back in the 90s, when I first became familiar with Bob from his roles on Full House and America's Funniest Home Videos, I happened to get a kick out of Bob's last name because it rhymed with a homosexual epithet. Now, Bob has since passed and hosted episode 12 of Saturday Night Live, back when it was still called Saturday Night Live Snottle. And anyway, around that time, he told me that I'm not the only one who thought it was funny that Bob's last name rhymes with the homosexual epithet, the F word. And that's why Bob's parents named Bob's sister Gay. Gay Saget. Now, when I had Bob on the show, I was curious about exactly how he died, so I asked him. All he has ever told me is that he died of head trauma. And I said to him, head trauma, Bob, since when is getting a blowjob traumatic? And all he says back is, when it kills you. Speaking of head, I didn't know until high school that head was a euphemism for a blowjob. So a friend of mine in 7th grade was bragging to me one time when we were walking home from school that he had gotten, quote, head from his girlfriend. I acted impressed, but at the time I had no idea what the fuck he was talking about. For the next 2 years, I figured my friend and his girlfriend rubbed their foreheads together or something, which at the time I didn't understand the appeal. And it's probably why one of my earliest girlfriends dumped me when I started to rub my forehead into her forehead. When she asked me what I was doing, I said, trying to give you some head.
King walks off stage and onto another stage and says,
please welcome to the program one of the all-time greats of both Saturday Night Live and Saturday Night Alive, Gilda Radner.
Gilda Radner emerges from behind a curtain and waves at the audience. Applause, applause, applause. Radner walks and sits in a seat next to King's desk.
King, welcome to the show, gorgeous.
King tries to take Radner's hand in his hand, but she pulls it away.
King, oh, come on, you get so uptight when I get touchy-feely.
Radner, you know I'd rather we keep things professional, Mr. Juris Dr. King.
King, okay, very good. Then, professionally speaking, what color panties are you wearing?
Radner rolls her eyes.
King, no, for the audience that doesn't know, Gilda and I like to keep it loosey-goosey.
Radner, I just said I'd rather keep it professional.
King, okay, fine, a real question. So you were born in Detroit to Jewish parents, correct?
Radner, that's right.
King, so Christmases must have been tough then?
Radner, excuse me?
King, I'm kidding, okay? We have Hanukkah after all. I don't know if you know that I myself am a self-proclaimed Jew.
Radner, you don't say.
King, that's right. I'm very proud of my self-proclaimed heritage, okay? Most alter egos just blindly follow the heritage of their original ego, but not me. I just love the Jews. I'm unapologetically pro-Semitic.
Radner politely nods.
King, anyway, enough about me. This is about our Gilda.
King stands up to grab at Radner's knee, but Radner moves her knee further away from King so he can't reach it. King sits back down and says,
anyway, Dal, after some time at the University of Michigan, you ended up at Second City in Toronto. How was that?
Radner, it was amazing. I loved it there. I met some very funny people and was able to kind of become more funny myself.
King, were you kind of a little sex kitten up there?
Radner, excuse me? Norm MacDonald walks on the stage and whispers in King's ear and then exits the stage.
King, okay, folks, I'm getting word from Gilda's husband, Gene Wilder, that if I don't stop it with all the sex stuff, he's going to make me stop. Ooh, what's he going to do? Give me a golden ticket? But yes, to move things along, I'll stop with the friendly sexual banter. Okay, so Gilda, you got some great preparation for your post-mortem role on Saturday Night Live by being on the National Lampoon Radio Hour, which was an audio-only comedy program, correct?
Radner, yeah, I didn't know it would come in so handy after I died, but yes, I was on that show and it was great. John was on there?
King, John Belushi.
Radner, right. And Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, Richard Belzer. It was a lot of fun.
King, and from there you were one of the original not ready for prime time players on Saturday Night Live, being the first performer cast on the show.
Radner, that's right. And it was incredible, really. I spent a lot of time with Alan Zweibel writing for my characters, like Roseanne Donna.
King, oh, can I do a Roseanne Donna impression?
Radner. Sure.
King. My name's Rosanna Donna. And it's always something. I'm not making this up. What'd you think?
Radner. It was fine.
King. Anyway, there's talk that you used to date Bill Murray. Is that true?
Radner. It is.
King. So what happened between you two? Was he a Scrooge or something? Was it always Groundhog Day with him?
Radner. You know, I don't really want to talk about personal relationships I had with people.
King. What's the matter? Are you afraid you're going to make Willy Wonka backstage upset?
Radner looks backstage uncomfortably.
King. Okay, just about 50 more questions.
Radner. Actually, we really need to wrap this up.
King. Wrap this up? Did you used to say that to your lovers, and is that why you didn't have any kids?
Radner rolls her eyes.
King. Okay, let me wrap this up then, okay? You had a movie career, but some have said it was a disappointing one. In fact, your former castmate, Lorraine Newman, said that directors and producers did not know how to cast you in roles where your talents could best shine. Quoting Lorraine from an interview, she said the specific nature of her talent was she did characters, and she probably would have been better served if she had taken part in writing the things that she did. But I don't think it occurred to her. If she and Alan Zweibel had collaborated on a feature, it might have been a whole different thing. Do you agree with that statement?
Radner. I mean, there's a lot of truth in that. I think it's likely Alan and I would have worked on something eventually, but unfortunately, I ran out of time to do that.
Okay, very good. Now, I want both Gilda and the audience to know that the earlier banter was just for show. Gilda, I hope you know that both SNL and Saturday Night Live are truly blessed to have you as our first featured female lead cast member, and we, of course, all wish you had lived longer. But that's sort of the beauty of Saturday Night Live, that we can still get a chance to experience the spirit of your greatness and how much you have meant to the comedy world.
Applause, applause, applause. Radner. Thank you, Joe. That was very sweet. Radner and King each stand up and hug. Applause, applause, applause. King.
Folks, that's all the time we have for this episode, but tune into the next one where we interview another deceased guest. Until then, I'm Joe King, and I'm not joking.